Good morning, UBS. Welcome to Monday morning's coffee chat with Nat. And I have gotten all ready. I've gotten up really early, done some exercise, and had my breakfast. And straight after this call, I will be going to Ballarat, which is an hour 40 minutes apparently from here, to do a speaking event. For a fellow UBS member. She invited me a little while ago to come along and speak to some business ladies for their luncheon today. So I'll be spending a few hours in the car. Maybe I'll spend a few things doing on the phone. But before we get started, let's have a look. You guys make sure that you can hear me and see obviously the backdrop PowerPoint. Hey, Colin, great to see you on the call. And I've been seeing your name pop up now lately quite a bit, which is great to see you around our community. We've got more people joining us. Hey, Elaine from Perth, good morning. It's warm but overcast with rain coming today. Well, we've got 27 degrees weather in Melbourne today, and it's blue skies from my end, so I'm really enjoying it. Hey, Lorraine, nice to see you here today as well. Perfect. So lucky us. Yes, it's lucky us. So please feel free to comment, ask questions, interact. I mean, I really just facilitate this call. You guys bring in some of the golden questions that then get us off on a tangent. I remember last week it was all about how to do video and what kind of equipment you need with your video, and I ended up showing you all these new goodies that I had bought to show you what I was going to use to record my stuff, and you guys said that was really, really valuable, but it was really impromptu. Cool. Hey, Mary, nice to see you as well. That's fine. Whenever you need to go, go. All right, perfect. So how do we run this? I mean, lots of familiar faces that have been here before and some brand new people that I haven't seen before. So briefly, we'll just spend a few minutes covering off how to best utilize the Ultimate Business Support Group, because this is usually like a little bit of an orientation call, and I always share a different tip on how to use the group. And the reason we got onto video last week was because I started talking about video day, and all of a sudden it was all about what kind of equipment and how should you do it and all that sort of stuff. And then we're going to just random Q&A. So please, any questions that you may have that are prodding and you haven't had them answered, this is where you've got the power of the mastermind, where you've got about 15, 20 people on the call. That's about the number we get each and every week, and they can give you some ideas. And usually a lot of our members have helped each other out, and it's not just me sharing my opinions. And last of all, we cover off in the last few minutes what events we've got coming up. Certainly UBS Melbourne offline event is this Thursday. We haven't done one for a couple of months because last month we were hosting the Australia's largest networking event. So really looking forward to seeing Jane Newen deliver a topic that I've never had done there, and that is how to have an intimate relationship, a passionate intimate relationship while you're building your empire. So I'm sure a lot of us business owners can get distracted and sometimes put our relationships, on pause. But Jane's got a lot of expertise around that, and I'm keen to hear any tips that I can improve my marriage and relationships. Would be awesome. Great to see lots of people on Periscope as well. There's about 9 to 10 there at the morning. Good morning, Lucy, over there. Excellent. Cool. Colin says, sounds interesting. By the way, those of you that are not in Melbourne, we are going to film it. Actually, we're going to use for the very first time my video equipment that I was showing you guys last week, and then I'll post that up. So that'll be my testing ground. Perfect. All right. So let's get into a couple of tips around using the UBS group. All right, so today I really wanted to, I guess when we started off on a little bit of the topics last week on video, I was thinking about Saturday social day. Now, usually I don't I'm not around on social media that much on a Saturday, but sometimes I might first thing in the morning put up something that I'm doing with my family or whatever. Being in business doesn't mean that everything that we talk about in this particular group is to do with business. We want to get to know each other also as human beings, because when we know each other as human beings, what that means is that we tend to like each other, trust each other, and want to do business with one another because we feel that we're similar to what we do. sometimes there's this perception out there that, all I do and talk about is business, yet on my social media, I post a lot of family pictures and fun times that I'm having and just normal stuff that when I'm vegging out. So yes, humans, not machines, from Colin. Yeah. And so what my big point around that is that there's a certain percentage of time on social media that you should be spending, obviously talking about your expertise, but then there's the aspect of humanizing it. So humanizing your social media should at least be 30% of what you're posting. So I've got a little formula that I would use. I would say, hey, 65% make it about your expertise, about 30% make it about who you are as a person and your everyday things that you're doing. And then 5% of the time is when you are having a call to action or a pitch or an offer that you're putting up there. And that's why, as you can see, we've heavily weighed our types of days towards adding value to each other and having a human factor to the theme days, but also then we're having the special days, really our only pitch day on the group. So that's what I would actually take away these percentages and do them as I have suggested within your other social media platforms, as well as your normal personal Facebook, because I know people who use their personal page very businessy, and actually that can make you and get you into trouble with Facebook if they deem that you're using your personal profile too much for business. Then they can actually pull down a post or send you a warning or something like that. So just remember that. Awesome. So now that's my little tip on social media and how to use our group the best way possible. So as I said, I do think we should all have 24 hours, unplugging a week. Whether that happens or not, for everybody, I'm not sure. But generally, I like to switch off, say, the Saturday morning and then come on like Sunday evening, because I feel that Sunday evening is actually quite busy on social media. Everyone's kind of getting ready for the week and seeing what's happened over the weekend and things like that. Cool. So now let's open up the floor for any questions that you guys may want to address here. And I think lots of cool things have been brought up over the last few weeks. Not just last few weeks. We've been going for about, I think, nearly 2 or 3 months now. Every Monday morning, it's really a great way for me to start the week. It gives me a bit of a boost of energy connecting with people, even though you guys are online and not live here with me. But I always feel a lot more energized once I get this coffee chat done. And I can see a lot of new faces here. All right. Well, if no one's putting their hand up, I'm going to actually open up a topic about money. Okay, money limiting beliefs. I actually did a Periscope. I don't know, I think it was about 2 weeks ago. And I talked about, breaking through your money limiting beliefs, and actually was like there was so many viewers and lots of comments and lots of interaction. So I just wanted to prod and actually, start talking about that and how do you find that? How do you find you're going? What are your beliefs around money? So Elaine says, any tips on breaking down the barriers to writing stuff on social media pages? Being a senior, I'm struggling with that. Thanks. All I'm going to say about that, Elaine, is you need to just be yourself, your authentic self, and not question what you're about to put out there. I tend not to think about what I'm saying or how I'm saying it. I'm just being me. And for me, I mean, sometimes people go, oh yeah, but you got to think about it. What perceptions are you putting out there? But for me, my real me is what people get, whether they meet me face to face or they see me on social media. It's the same voice coming through. So I think if you're being authentic and you're posting things up that you would normally say in your everyday world, then that's what I would go. I would go on that feeling rather than go, oh, should I be saying that? Or you're saying something, but it's not really the real you. So I trust that that's been helpful. Cool. That was a little question off the money topic. Cool. Here we go. Money. Colin says, I treat money as a resource in the sense that it's abundant and not limiting. Very, very good. Thank you from Elaine. Cool. So when I started out, certainly I had my own little demons that I had to work through, and a lot of us that are on this call would have undergone a lot of, say, personal development or working on our beliefs, because to break through and become successful in business, we have to smash through a certain blueprint. I don't know if you guys have heard that most of us have this blueprint where we can make this certain amount of money, and then that's where it sort of uh, levels off, and we can get to that, but we can't break through that. So I'll just maybe offer my opinion of how I've seen it unfold in my life and business, because certainly we've smashed through a lot of different barriers where I thought, I could only earn $50,000, $60,000 a year, and then I got to the $100,000 ceiling, and then how do you do the multiple hundred thousands, and then how do you do seven figures, which we did last year. So how did it come about? Well, it was really a progression. It wasn't like something changes and straight away you're making X amount, and now all of a sudden you're making 10 times that. I believe it's been working hard, seeing people get results, continuing to serve, and then also asking the question how. So when you get to a certain point, you go, okay, that's great. So how do I stretch myself and get the benchmark to that next level? And in terms of charging an hourly rate, a lot of us on this call perhaps are or used to be on an hourly rate. And certainly if someone asked to work with me, I would say I charge $1,000 an hour. So to say that, say back in day one when I started out the business, I was charging $125 an hour. That I wouldn't have even believed it myself. So I think it has to do with belief. Do you believe you're worth X amount an hour? Like, it really has to come from you, because you're the one that has to really know that the value you're going to bring to a person is going to be equal, if not greater, to what your asking price is. And certainly I would aim for it to be greater, because a perceived value should always be greater than calculated value, and what the person gets at the other end. So are they going to get 10 times their return on investment, or what is it going to be? So when I started seeing more and more clients get results faster, that was my little clue that I felt comfortable to go, yeah, of course, now my clients are getting results faster, therefore I would increase, say, my hourly rate. So I went up from 125 to 125 to 165 to 220, and then it was right up to 400, then 500, and then doubled it to 1,000. And so that's how it's been on my journey. So what's been happening for you? Are there any things that you have been struggling with, or have you been self-sabotaging perhaps what's happening around your money situation? Something else that I also think happens is that once you get to a certain point where your core is being looked after, you then start to look for reasons start looking for ways to help other people and then give back. And then it no longer, the thinking doesn't go around how much am I earning, how much do I need. It's more the thinking evolves to how many more people can I serve. And it's through service that we get rewarded, and as long as we're serving, we're going to keep getting that energy exchange of being paid for what we have provided. I think, and nowadays I don't get those moments where I start to freak out, oh my God, or haven't made sales for a few weeks or whatever it is. It's like, well, I'll just go serve some more people, and I'll just go and attend more events, and I'll go run my own events, or I'll go connect with more people and figure out who needs what I've got to offer. Because there's always someone out there, no matter what you're offering, that is looking for what you've got to offer. So if you go out there and actually do the legwork, then that shouldn't be an issue to find those people and build relationships, perhaps also with people that if you find the people that advise your ideal clients. They're your gold referrers. If you, a lot of mistakes that I've seen people make is they'll go networking and they're looking for people that would be their clients. What I would say is take it up that next level and look for people that are advising your ideal client. So, for example, if your ideal client is let's talk about the health and wellness industry. Say if it's around someone who wants to lose weight. Now it could be very hard to go out and go, oh, help people lose weight. I'm looking for that person who's losing weight. Who's ever going to refer to you someone who needs to lose weight? However, if you go out there and look to be connected with people who are personal trainers, who, maybe they know a doctor or people that are well-respected professionals or hold a whole lot of your ideal clients, then just imagine, that one person that you've been connected to now all of a sudden can introduce you to 20, 30, or in excess of more of those people. And they're really the referrals or the connections we need to be looking out there when we go out there. Cool. Let's have a look at a few comments that have come up. And Chrissy said, I've set a dollar amount for next calendar year, which is 500K, but I shared this with someone close and they thought it was silly. They said $50 was more realistic. I'm trying to aim high and get as close as I can. Is this silly? Yes, aiming, definitely doing a high, setting a high goal, Chris, is better than not setting any goal. But one thing I would just be wary of is that you're not doing something that you don't really truly believe that can really happen. So if in your business you're earning, I'm only guessing here, if you're earning $10,000, $20,000, going for $500,000 is probably unrealistic. Going for $100,000 as your annual goal. Let's say in the last 12 months you've earned $10,000 to $20,000, and then you're going okay. Next 12 months, I really want to get to that six figures. Because to build a business that's going to be a 500K business, you need to have X amount of infrastructure set up. So when someone comes to me, let's say it's a coach, because I attract a lot of coaches and trainers, and they say to me, look, I'm earning nothing now, but my goal is to make $1 million next year. Well, I look at that as a bit of a self-sabotaging pattern, because if they haven't got no infrastructure, no product or system or something to sell that's going to amount to that $1 million or $500,000, then I go, okay, well, this could be a self-sabotage pattern that they're running. That would mean that, at the end of that year, they won't get there. So they're just going to, go, oh, well, of course I wasn't going to do that. And they feel bad about it. So I would say increment your goals, annual goals, but know how, work backwards from them. So if it is 500,000 for you, how many things of what you do you need to sell to how many people? So what I do, and this is what I'll be doing in the VIP marketing day with people, is actually going, okay, so what are your income streams? So I'll just give you an example from me, is my income streams at my author retreats, my consulting fees, I used to have like a mastermind group, my product sales, my book sales, my seminars. So let's say I've got about 6 or 7 income streams that come, with everything that we do. So then what I go, okay, how much do I want to generate from this particular income stream? Let's talk about author retreats. They're the real high-end ticket items. So then I go, okay, I want to this year the goal is 60, and I'm sitting at about just shy of 40 this time of the year. Next year, I know my goal is going to be 100. Okay, so let's say it's 60 by 17,000, whatever that equates to. And then I look at my other income streams, and then I go, okay, how many of this? And then I go, and if my goal was 1.5 million, I'll just work backwards and see how I need to adjust everything to come to that figure. Now, when I aimed for the $1 million year, I actually aimed for 1.5 million, not for one. So generally, whatever you aim for, so say you're aiming for 500,000, you may get to 300,000. So certainly having it as a bit of a stretch, and getting there 70, 80% of the, of the way is a fantastic way, because you know what they say, if you aim for the moon and or the stars and you reach the moon, then you've gone pretty far. So I hope that's been a bit of an insight. Let's say here, see what else is here. Mary said, I started at 278 per hour, then 440, then a 3K program, and now a 5K program. So that's fantastic. So we all start off, so as you can see with Mary, she also started off just per hour, and then and worked up into different programs. And that's the way it happens. And what happens, and the reason she would have been doing hourly rates is because she still wouldn't have had her system worked out. So she was kind of coaching or mentoring people and clients who were teaching her at the same time what are the kind of things they wanted, and that's what eventuated into her program. Same as in my first business, the Ultimate Weight Loss, Lose the Life 10 Kilos. I was just weight loss coaching people. I would say, hey, you can have a 3-monthly coaching package, 6 or 12 months, but I didn't have an actual program or a system. But after a while, I noticed that I was doing the same stuff over and over with all these clients, and I thought, oh, I'll turn this into the 12-step Ultimate Mindset Success Program, and then I licensed it, and then I sold it, so that's where you get from that one-on-one to one-to-many. Hey, Glenda's joined on Periscope. All right, so that's what I'm guessing, Mary, that's what you would have done is worked out that you were doing similar things with your one-on-one clients, and then you've developed an actual program. Cool. Mary says, correct, and not believing that it was worth more until my clients' results were 10 times return on investment. Yeah, cool. So for those of you that are perhaps newer in this business and or in your business, what you need to start noticing is what are the things that you keep repeating all of the time, and the similar things that you're saying to clients or doing with them and showing them, and then create Glenda says first go on Periscope. Great. What's it called? And showing and what are you showing them? So then how does that equate into step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many steps you want to do? Very popular 8-week programs. But what that does, and why do you do a program? So the reason you do a program is because people like to buy things wrapped up in a nice package. We all want to have that sense of we start here and we finish here. So it really helps them give closure, and that when they have finished working with you, they have achieved a certain goal. And that's why our Ultimate 48-Hour Author Retreats work so well, because at the end of an author retreat, they have got this book, their first book, and they've achieved that goal. Now, certainly there's more things that they can do beyond that, either to work with us or get further support. But what happens is at least for that particular program or system, they have achieved X goal. So the question here to ask yourself is, what goal have my clients achieved with me that when they have finished working with me? And this would work for every business. It would work for anything, whether it's service or a product. What goal? Have they received a certain product? Have they achieved a certain increase in their business? What is it? What's turn it into something a little bit more tangible? Okay, so Chris, you've said 50K, so I'm guessing maybe 50K is what you generated in the last 12 months. And you've just said, okay, that's fair enough. I'm trying to build fast in the next 6 months. I would go for 150, Chris. So you said that maybe you'll go for 100K. Is better. I would go set a target at 150, work backwards, and certainly if you're growing and building fast, I usually say 3 times of where you're at. So that's what I would go for. Cool. You're welcome. All right. Okay, so I read that one. Sorry, I'm just trying to delete a couple of the comments here. How are we going for time? We've got 5 minutes. All right, so guys, feel free to post any question right now, but what I'll do is just do the second part before, because I do have to fly out at 9:30 because of this Ballarat speaking thing, and I hope I get there on time. But I want to tell you about the events coming up. So all of my author events are coming up. Like I've got 10 days of 10 events And I will be in Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth on the dates that you see on the screen. What I might just do is send you this link in our little chat box so that you can check those out. Let me see where I am. If you wanted to. And then with Robert Curry, we're doing the Scale Up Your Marketing and Take Your Business to the Next Level. This is a free event. There is a VIP upgrade, but you don't have to take that. If you wanted it, then absolutely. But the Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide, and Sydney events are coming up also. All of these will be on this particular page. Now, this next link that I send you says Perth at the end, but if you actually open up on desktop, you will see all of the different cities that we will be and what dates and all that sort of stuff and what venues. So it's just there's only 2 pages for both of these lots of events, and then you figure out what dates and stuff like that. The author event is $49, and you get a copy of my book, so that one's not free. The last one I want to make you aware of is our UBS Melbourne. Okay, Jane Ewan is doing, as I said to you earlier before, she's doing the the secret to a passionate relationship while building your empire. And for the next 24 hours, we're doing a $5 ticket for first-time comers. Okay, so get yourself one if you haven't been. We've been running this event nearly 3 years, and Jane is amazing, and she will share a lot of gold with us in terms of how to, keep our relationship, hot while while we're running and building that empire. And the very last thing, obviously, that was the link that I sent you there for the $5 ticket. And the very last thing is we still have that last lonely seat left in our brand new house for the VIP marketing day. As I told you guys before, we'll be going through and setting up a calendar such as this to work out what you will be doing throughout the year. When are you going to have your holidays? When are you going to run events? When are you going to visit other events? And how is everything going to work backwards to achieve your figure of whatever it is? So, Christine, I'm just using you as an example. If I was to sit down and do this with you, I would work out, what your income streams are. We would work backwards how many of each do you need to sell, and then we would then set up this annual calendar to work out what are the activities that you need to execute to make that possible. So this VIP Marketing Day is at our brand new house, which is all fully set up now. It doesn't look like this in the little pictures here. It's just the old picture of the room. But I've got whiteboards, and it's a full-on training room for just 10 people. We can only fit 10 people in that one. And you get to even lounge out on the theatre seats. So that day is $4.97. And there is that one spot left, so you need to email me or private message me on Facebook if you want to come along to that. Otherwise, we'll just go along with the 9 people that we've got coming, and Stuart will be cooking lunch and food for everyone all day long. Cool. She goes, I wish I could come from Canberra, but too soon to leave, Bob. Yeah, I do have one person coming from Canberra, actually. I've got one person Elaine from Perth is coming. I've got Kim from Brizzy, and Rita from Canberra is coming. So I do have 3 interstate people coming down especially for this day, which is really awesome. Yeah, I would maybe next year. I'm sure I'll be doing another one of these marketing days. Awesome. Well, it's 9:29. I better jump in my car and actually head out to Ballarat. It's going to be a nice drive since the sun is out, it's shining. I hope you've had an interesting call. You've taken some notes, but the most important thing is that you take action. Do 1 or 2 things of what I suggested. Even if it's not too early to start now and think about 2016, because before you know it, it's going to be November, December. Thank you, Lucy. Sorry, I thought it was Glenda on Periscope. So thank you. I'll have a safe trip and a great day. You'll see the photos later from that speaking gig. And I'll catch you guys next Monday, same time, same place. All right, have an awesome week. Bye.